You have just received peer feedback from a fellow student. This means another student has reviewed your work and made suggestions for improvement. In this video, you will learn how to use this feedback to your advantage. That sounds like an easy task, but in practice it turns out to be a bit more challenging. In this video, we'll discuss how to deal with peer feedback, how to analyze the feedback, and how to make an improvement plan. What do you focus on when looking at feedback? The person who gave the feedback or the feedback itself? You might know the student who gave the feedback and distrust whatever they say without even looking at it. But this person might have given valid feedback. So always focus on the feedback itself, not the person. Sometimes received feedback is hard to deal with. For example, because it's given in an unfriendly way, because you disagree with it, or because you feel your abilities are being attacked. Don't take peer feedback personally. It's about the assignment, not you as a person. It's meant to help you. Unfriendly feedback might still have a valid point, so try to see through the unfriendliness. So how should you analyze the feedback you received? For the best result, follow these 7 steps. Let's start with an example of feedback you might receive. Very good, excellent, I wouldn't change anything. First of all, listen. Take a moment to really process the feedback. Ignore any positive or negative expressions and just look at what your peer is telling you. In this example, you receive 2 compliments and a suggestion for action. Secondly, understand what the feedback is referring to. What does your peer mean? What part of your assignment is the feedback about? The text as a whole or just part of it? Are there any suggestions for improvement? In our example, only compliments are given, but it's not clear what exactly is good about your work. Step 3 is be critical. What can you learn from this feedback and how can you use it? The compliments in the example are not specific. You cannot use them to improve your work. Make a list of questions for your peer to understand their feedback better. For example, ask for clarification, more depth, examples, or connections with other parts of your assignment. The 4th step is discussion with your peer. This step is often skipped, but is actually the most important one. Ideally, your teacher uses class time for this discussion. Otherwise, you should plan a meeting yourself, face-to-face or online. Ask your peer your questions and also anticipate asking follow-up questions. Discussing your work in detail will give both you and your peer a deeper understanding of the material. At the same time, you learn how to have an academic discussion, which is an important academic skill. Now that you've analyzed the feedback and really understand what your peer is trying to tell you, it's time to decide what you want to do with their feedback. This leads us to step 5, learning points. Concisely write down the most important insights you have gained from the received feedback. Step 6 is to select the parts of the feedback that you actually want to use. However, you should consider every aspect of the peer feedback, but don't have to accept every element. Finally, step 7, your action plan. Plan which feedback you will work on first and which parts you want to save for a later moment. Many students start with a smaller feedback, but it's best to first resolve the structural issues before tackling the details. By now you have acquired all the tools you need to use the received peer feedback to your advantage. You know how to deal with peer feedback, are familiar with the 7 steps to analyze received feedback, and know how to make an improvement plan. Good luck with your assignment. Make the best of it.